to tell you why you should be freaked out and a little bit frustrated. Have you ever felt perturbed? Of course, we all have. But did you know that the word perturbed comes from the word perturbation, which is the scientific process of change? So, for example, a pot of boiling water is undergoing the process of perturbation as the heat source heats it up, right? And there's pressure from the outside and the water molecules heat up and they start to break down and break apart, and ultimately steam is released. So why am I telling you this? It's because humans go through a very similar type of process when we commit to making a transformative change, that process of perturbation. So for example, when we commit to making a big change, there's also a sense of heat, right? There's times you feel like your butt's on fire. There's this heat and there's this pressure and things break down and things break apart. And then that release of steam in humans comes out more in the form of emotion. And it's usually a mix of kind of this cocktail of good emotions and maybe frustrating emotions. So maybe there's excitement and there's exhilaration because you're growing and you're pursuing your goals. But then there's also maybe a little bit of fear or a healthy amount of anxiety and this frustration that comes with it because things in the process get messy as you're growing and stepping outside of your comfort zone, and those breakdowns and break aparts, it can cause us to want to turn down the heat source and say, let's just back it off a little bit. Let's back off from the goals, back off from the coaching, back off from the discipline. So my encouragement to you today is when you're in that feeling of perturbation and you're sensing that frustration or that little extra anxiety, maybe coupled with excitement on some level, to stay the course, because water can't become steam without the process of perturbation. It just can't. And you and your business cannot transform from what you are now into something you've never been without also going through that process of perturbation. So as Brad Sugars puts it, you know you've made a good decision when it brings up both fear and excitement. So if you're feeling that way, welcome it, because it's part of the process of transformation. Thanks for watching.